And a very good afternoon to you. I'm Lisa Lloyd with the CBC News at noon. Well, confidence in the Barbados economy is returning. That's according to Labour Minister Senator Dr. Esther Bayasuku. She says Barbadians as well as international agencies have appreciated government's management of the country's economic fortunes.
We took some tough decisions. We've had to do it before as a nation, and we've shown that wasn't a fluke. We are able as a nation to take the tough decisions when we have to take, and that counts for a lot internationally. It counts for a lot among investors, even those donor countries and donor agencies that would be interested when they look to see, well, how are you handling things? Yes, your economy has taken a dip, but what is your response to it? You know, and they like what we have done.
Well, the Labour Minister says the declining unemployment figures and a number of projects scheduled to come on stream are evidence of the economic improvement. She also says that while there was a slow take-up of skills programs for unemployed persons, many of them eventually recognized the benefits of the initiative and have been making the most of them.
It seems maybe because the recession was longer than we had expected, then people are starting to see, okay, I'm not getting back into the job market. It's not as easy re-entering the job market. It didn't take 3 months. It didn't take 6 months. It's taking longer. So you know something, there may be something to these skills. So we have had people come and retool for new jobs. But what we've seen, and we're very excited about, is that we've seen people come and take up skills, and along with that, get the business skills so that they've started businesses. So we've seen people train and start their own businesses.
Following a spike in sudden deaths, the Barbados Family Planning Association has seen an increase in those seeking their services. Executive Director Juliet Bino-Sutherland says it's just another cue that Barbadians are worried, and rightly so, about their health.
Or clinicians or doctors or nurses are indicating that people are very much worried and concerned and questioning what is happening, because the information is so vague and uncertain about the cause of death. What we are trying to do is really use this as an opportunity. Wherever you have a challenge or a crisis or a national concern, it's an opportunity for those of us in public health to say, well, how many people are doing baseline assessments?
And the baseline assessment is an evaluation of a person's health to compare it with others in that population, or used to assess someone's health over time. Now, the association will provide discounted doctor visits at its community open days today and tomorrow at its Bay Street Clinic. Ms. Bino-Sutherland says although there are some health risks beyond control like aneurysms, there are many which can be prevented.
Hypertension, which is the leading cause of heart disease and heart failure, there are certain things that are lifestyle related. So what we do is we use it as an opportunity when people ask, well, when last have you had your blood sugar checked? When last have you done an assessment? Are you in an exercise program? So it is used, it's causing us to basically remind people that we provide holistic services.
Well, Barbados is in desperate need of people determined to transform the island from a consuming society to one which produces. This message came from CBC's head of archives, Sherwood McCaskey, in his feature address at the graduation ceremony of the Charles F. Broome Memorial Primary. He stressed that amidst all of the island's current needs, the greatest is for youth well equipped to change how success is viewed.
These individuals around the world are developing the software for you to consume and consume and consume. Boys and girls, Barbados needs you to bring an end to that and be at the other side of that lucrative industry. Barbados needs you to be the innovators and not the consumers, to be the smart ones developing the software, owning that software, and selling that software to the world.
During the ceremony, a number of students were awarded for their achievements in academics as well as sports. A valedictorian, Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, reminded students that great success requires great sacrifice and effort. He lauded the efforts of people who contributed to the success of the students and urged the graduates not to be defined by common entrance results.
We have played together, fought together, worked together, smiled together, and even cried together, especially after the football match against Wilkie Commonwealth. Now today we celebrate together. Many of you are happy that you were allocated to the school of your choice. A few may be disappointed that you missed your preferred school. That is natural. But please don't let that stop you from celebrating.
Founding director of the Fresh Milk Arts Platform, Annalie Davis, says there is an abundance of talent in young directors locally, but a shortage of opportunities to nurture these individuals. Her comments came at the launch of the NCF's Fresh Milk Emerging Directors Residency Program. She says the program is critical as it provides a space where young directors can dedicate 50 hours developing their work while receiving a $1,000 stipend at the same time.
There is absolutely no shortage of talent. There's a shortage of nurturing opportunities. And Fresh Milk really, George Lamming has written about the meaning of agriculture. It's about tending young shoots. And he talks about altering the very chemistry of our own soil. And that's what we are trying to do through a residency program.
Meanwhile, the NCF's Chief Cultural Officer, Andrea Wells, says the program is a great idea since it will lay the foundation for the future, especially next year's Carry Festa.
We're also actively working to build these partnerships towards Barbados' hosting of Carry Festa, which will take place in August 2017. We see Fresh Milk and their contemporary fine art practice as one of these partners who we will continue to explore projects with, not just for the 50th anniversary and for Carry Festa, but in the future. So we're pleased to launch this inaugural collaboration.
The Ministry of Health is spearheading efforts to find more placements for medical graduates of the Faculty of Medical Sciences at the University of the West Indies to pursue internships. Speaking at the annual welcome ceremony and banquet for new doctors at the Barbados Concord Experience over the weekend, Minister of Health John Boyce acknowledged that the current demand outstripped available placements for the interns. The Health Minister says he will be meeting with the chairman of the Medical Council and other stakeholders to look at the issue and discuss solutions to the problem, which has seen some graduates without internships over the last few years. Mr. Boyce also disclosed that Barbados has been approached by at least 5 offshore medical schools within the last 5 years, seeking to relocate to the island to provide training for undergraduates in the field of medicine. Well, a local business owner is calling out Barbadian businesses for poor service. She is co-owner of Punchline's Juice Bar in Hastings, Julia George, who recently moved to Barbados after seeing success with the same business in New York City. Ms. George says amidst the many issues facing the sector, a lack of good service is destroying young businesses and potentially good ideas are going to waste.
I've been in New York for 30 years. I have not been in a customer relationship service all that time, but the jobs that I've worked for, I mean, it's told to you that you're being paid according to your clients or your customers. So when they're not treated well and they don't spend money and they don't, you're not getting a paycheck because of it. I don't know, maybe the people here think that, hey, they're gonna still get a paycheck, so they really don't care how their service is, and I think that's what's lacking here.
The Royal Barbados Police Force is promising that it will ensure the safety of all revelers taking part in upcoming 4-day mourning celebrations. The assurance comes in the wake of a widely circulated WhatsApp message allegedly exposing a group's plan for violent retaliation during that event. Police Public Relations Officer, Acting Assistant Superintendent David Belt, says the force has been made aware of the conversation and has launched an investigation. In a statement released late yesterday, he assured the public that all appropriate measures will be taken throughout the crop over season to provide a safe environment for all. This with the support of other law enforcement agencies and private security. The police PRO also encourages anyone with information to call the police or Crime Stoppers Barbados at 1-800-TIPS. That's 1-800-8477. He says that all information will be kept in the strictest confidence. Well, 5 people are reportedly in serious condition following an accident in Hampton Hill, St. George last night. 18 people were injured in the collision between a minibus and a ZM, triggering a mass casualty response from the emergency services. 16 of the injured, including the 5 who were seriously hurt, were passengers in the minibus driven by 34-year-old Elvis Chandler of Edgecombe in St. Philip. The other 2 were traveling in the ZM, which was driven by 77-year-old Livingston Brathwaite of Clapham St. Michael. Lawmen say that the accident happened at around 7:25. Ambulance, police and fire officers all responded to that accident. Well, stay with us. We'll have regional and international stories right after this break.